A one, a two, a 1, 2, 3. New York! Ba-da-ba-da-da-ba-da-da. Guess where we are, everybody?
New York.
The answer specifically is...
Central Park.
Central Park. We are walking down through Central Park on our very first evening back in New York for our 9th trip in 2 years, 3 years.
Wow.
I've lost count. We may have a problem, and our problem is
we were going to
Broadway.
go back.
No. March 2023, trip of a lifetime. Look how far we have all come. You, me, and the tiny people in the camera. There's the bridge.
This is the bit we normally film every time.
There you go.
We watched back a vlog and we realised that nearly every day when we were walking down is this specific spot that was shown.
This is the moment I start filming.
We were trying to see if Tavern on the Green was in it, and then we realised it was always right here.
It is lovely weather. It is the very end of May. We are walking down through Central Park. We just landed in New York this afternoon. We're not that jet lagged. We're feeling good. Had a lovely flight here. And now we're strolling down to go and see our very first Broadway show, which is what, Aeron James?
Pirates, the Penzance musical.
Pirates, the Penzance musical, the Broadway revival by the Roundabout Theatre Company at the Todd Hames Theatre, formerly the American Airlines Theatre. We'll have seen almost every show that has played there this season. We didn't quite catch home.
And this is our first musical?
This is our first musical at the Todd Hames. But yeah, heading down there to go and kick off this trip that will include many Broadway shows and some other exciting events and some other different places. Yeah. This is not just a New York trip, everybody, but you will find that out over the coming segments of this vlog. Who knows how many episodes we're in store for here.
Or you'll see it on a video that Mickey's already put up.
Very possibly, very possibly. Anyway, thank you for joining us for another trip to New York. Let's go see some theatre. But before we get to the theatre, let's chat a little on the walk down. Now, if this was our first trip to New York, we might head through Times Square to go and see that iconic view. And it is, and you know, it has to be seen. It is one of, I guess, the most iconic and popular spots in the world. But because of that, it gets busy.
It is.
And it's Friday night. We're getting here on a Friday. And it's evidently a popular time around on the streets. Have we been to New York in the month of May before? I don't think we have. Anyway, we are instead going to walk down one of the parallel avenues, because if you go just even like one street over from Times Square, then the pavement traffic gets quieter. Although I say that and I'm looking down, there's still a lot of people on the streets, which is their prerogative, and we're here as well, so I can't complain. Aeron James likes to make fun of me for how much I talk about the weather, so I'm going to let him be the first weather correspondent. What's the weather like, Aeron James?
You've already spoken about the weather.
Did I mention it?
Yeah.
Oh, well, I missed that.
I nearly called you Mickey Jo Weather.
In truth, we have been here when it's been really hot, like early July. We've been here when it's been freezing cold, blizzards. Yeah. Is this the Goldilocks experience? Is it finally just right?
Right now, this is storm heat.
It is.
This is very much in any minute it can suddenly be pelting it down with rain, so...
I'll show you the skyline and let you decide for yourselves. It's up there. Storms. We're feeling the humidity. Down this street you can see Hadestown and Dead Outlaw at the Walter Kerr and the Longacre respectively. And we're about to walk past the Civilian Hotel. Very first hotel we ever stayed in New York on our first ever trip, which was lovely. I can thoroughly recommend. These days we tend to stay with friends, which we'll be doing on this trip as well, but we do have a couple of nights in a hotel ahead of us in the coming days and weeks. Nope, we already went past the Civilian and I just lied to you all. Moments after I said, Aeron and I know New York so well now. We are such experts. Ha 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 ha. Approaching my favorite street in the world, which is 45th Street. So many theaters. Look at that giant billboard for Smash. Look at that. A bombshell is about to drop. It's MASH currently, but if we walk a little further, I promise you it says Smash. There we go, there we go. Now this is a new time of year for us. Admittedly it's a Friday night, I guess, but these are much busier streets down here than we sometimes see, so something to be aware of. As always with these vlogs, we're going to take you to the theatre. Peep some theatres over there behind me. But we're also, through our experiences, hopefully going to share some tips about how to do a great New York trip and advice, places to eat, places to hang out, other fun things to do in between seeing all of the shows. Hopefully we inform and we entertain. Al Hirschfeld Theatre, Moulin Rouge, one of the most stylish exteriors for a Broadway show. Now I'm saying all of this as if you're all watching one of these vlogs for the first time, and you may be. Hello to you, new friends, but regular viewers of the Mickey, Jo and Aeron New York vlogs will know exactly why we've gone past the Al Hirschfeld and where we are heading before our very first show. It is often our first stop in New York, and this trip is no exception. It is Schmackary's Cookies, the official cookie of Broadway. We're gonna go in and see what they've got going on. Many delicious cookies going on here. The next to normal cast recording playing in the background. I think it's the Broadway one rather than the West End one that's just been released. But the one I want to point out to you, the Operation Mince treat, it's gluten-free as well, which means Aeron James can enjoy it. It's freshly zested lemon, creamy lemon chips, and topped with luscious lemon creamsicle frosting. And look at that distinctive design on the top. Aeron just told me off in Schmackary's.
You suddenly became 75% louder than
I can't do that impression quietly.
It was like Megahorn.
You know there's a dream.
I was like, it's good.
And I miss the mountains.
It's good, but you are louder than the track.
I can't do it now. I can't perform under pressure. So Aeron's got his Operation Mince treat. We might go introduce it to the theatre where its show is playing, the Golden Theatre just down at the end of this street. And I have the Funfetti, which recently had another promotion to do with the brilliant social media content creator and performer Cara Rose DiPietro, and her celebration of post-audition treats. And that's what this one was branded as for a little while. Yay to Cara, yay to treating yourself after an audition, and yay to cookies, quite honestly. It's as good as I remember. Come and meet those dancing feet. We have made it down to 42nd Street, not to go to Madame Tussauds, not to go to Dave & Buster's, not to go to the world's largest candy department store, although it is something to behold, I promise you. Instead, we are heading over to the Todd Hames Theatre, previously the American Airlines, operated by the Roundabout Theatre Company, one of their two Broadway venues, the other being Studio 54. That one's right at the top of the theatre district. This one is almost at the bottom. I'm killing time because we got stuck in some walking traffic. There we go. Go, Aeron James, go. Round the outside. That's been our entire last 20 minutes. Here we are, a cool 20 minutes before curtain for Pirates! Exclamation point. The Penzance musical. I'm excited! Now just after you come in through this lovely foyer, on the right hand side you will find a little merchandise kiosk. We'll show you some of the items here. We have some cute bits and pieces. We have something you don't see very often, which is a souvenir brochure program situation. Here you don't see a lot of those on Broadway because you have complimentary playbills. We have these cute little baseball caps that are embroidered, nice high quality. We have a lot of purple going on. I think that's also an embroidered t-shirt. Pirates, the Penzance musical on the t-shirt. We have another t-shirt with Jinx Monsoon playing Ruth. We have a pirate booty tote bag, which has, if that's the same one, Ramin Karimloo on the other side. We have some Roundabout Theatre Company merchandise as well. That's the bottle that you're seeing, as well as the notebook. We have a David Hyde Pierce mug. He is the very model of a modern Major General. Information, vegetable, animal and mineral. And over here as well we see some other little trinkets available to you. We see, I think that's a Roundabout Theatre Company pop socket in the middle, as well as a Roundabout Theatre Company magnet. Also Pirates magnets, and the smaller things you're seeing are enamel pin badges, which I dare say Aeron James is going to want to grab because he does collect them. Also, you would have been seeing earlier the Pirates zip hoodie on the other side. This is cute, I like this. We also have some themed beverages. I love this digital screen here, makes it nice and easy to read. We've got all sorts of snacks going on, and I just love the decoration of this bar area with the treasure, with the beads. If you don't know, the show has been transplanted to New Orleans, so you're seeing that with some of the aesthetic here. The featured cocktails are the Wandering One, as in poor Wandering One, with vodka, strawberry puree, kiwi and lime. The Little Ruth, which is gin, yuzu, puree, lemon and elderflower. You can read all this, but I'll tell you anyway. The Pirate King, which is tequila, blackberry puree, lime and agave. And the French Quarter 75, Chandon, lemon, cane sugar and oak barrel essence. That's the one I'm the most intrigued by. I look for originality in these cocktails, and that's the one that grabbed my attention. Folks are taking photos with the cast board over here, but you can see who is on at today's performance as well as the stage managers. Oh, they're here for someone. That's very cute. And you can also see substitutions for this performance. The role of pirate/policeman, usually played by Alex Gibson, will be played by Alex Dorff. It's a different Alex, everybody. And now we are sat down in the mezzanine. Lots to share with you. This is our first time being up here in the mezzanine at the Todd Hames in our many visits, and you can see the gorgeous interior design going on here. Nice chandelier situation, lovely, stunning view of the stage. Every row in the mezzanine does seem to have one of these safety rails. That's not something that you see all that often, but it's not obstructing my view whatsoever, even if you were a little bit shorter.
No, I don't think so.
It's a great view of the stage from up here, and it's very well raked, so completely unobstructed, to be honest. Aeron taking the all-important playbill picture, but this one is even more special because they are Pride bills with the Pride design designed by our friend Robbie Rozelle. How cool is this? So this is something they do every June, but they do roll them out a little bit early because today it's May 30th, and already we have Pride bills, and I love that for this show in particular. How cute is that? Another thing I wanted to share with you, this is one of my side quest campaigns. There are multiple places to fill up water bottles or just to get a drink of water from a water fountain in this theatre. One of them is just to the left of that merchandise booth I was showing you. The other one is downstairs in the lower lobby area by the restrooms, so you can fill up a water bottle. Remember to hydrate, particularly in these warm months, everybody. Hydrate yourselves. Also a timely reminder to make sure you get your playbills or Pride bills from the ushers. They are complimentary with a ticket to any Broadway show, and they have information inside, and occasionally one of these as well. This is an understudy slip telling us the same information that we found earlier downstairs on the cast board. We also have a little insert here about all of the Tony nominees from roundabouts 2024 to 2025 programming from English, Yellowface, and this show, Pirates, the Penzance musical, nominated for Best Revival of a Musical. And one act of a musical later, we have found this fun little walkway area at the back of the circle, if anyone's looking for a space to decompress and hang out during intermission or before or after the show.
It's also good under the orchestra.
Yes,
the area,
the lower lounge.
The lower lounge doesn't have like a bar or a kiosk, so it's just like empty space.
Yeah.
So in between the two restrooms, so that's a very good place if you want to like.
It's got images from previous roundabout productions and some of their Tony Award nominations as well.
It's all the Tony nominations, but it's a good place to just like chill. And actually back here, loads of space. I think because they don't have many bars, they only have it outside and like on the 5th floor.
Yeah.
It means that like there's loads of actually like breakout space, which is quite nice because you don't get that often. And also here is a theatre that does a whole lot of things for access.
True.
Like they were saying, like devices you can use for captioning and everything, which you don't get to see that often. It's very sweet, and I forget that I know this musical. Because what is operetta term musical?
It was an operetta. This is a musical.
This is very much a musical, but
yeah.
I had to sing the ensemble bits of this when I was in year 5, because our year 6. Our years, the year above us at primary school, did Pirates of Penzance as their year 6 show.
What a choice!
The year 5s had to be the chorus.
You're not even from the southwest. That makes no sense whatsoever.
No, and 2 of our like assistant head and deputy head were the Pirate King and the Model Major General, if I remember correctly, because they always did every production.
I mean, that's quite cute.
When in year 6, when I was Joseph,
of course,
they were the baker and the butler.
That's fine, because those are small cameos, but the Model Major General, the Pirate King, is will play the lead roles.
I think I remember learning this afterwards. It was because the 2 of them did Gilbert and Sullivan, so they took those roles to help.
I'm not okay with this.
And I was just like, I remember as a kid thinking, this is very hard. And I was in year 5 and I was used to be on top of this, and I was like, why are we having to stay for hours learning this as like 10-year-olds or less?
For those of you curious about this production, it has been transplanted from its original Southwest British setting to New Orleans, Louisiana, and there was a little bit of a
like they have Gilbert and Sullivan as characters in this, but set it up.
What word am I looking for? Ish, but that's not really. It's not a premonition. My brain thinks it's midnight right now. That's the only explanation of what's happening here. I've taken a couple of caffeine pills. I'm doing very well. I've not fallen asleep even once.
You're meaning a prologue.
Am I?
It is a prologue. That was a prologue because the musical had
a preamble.
No, because a preamble is not really in a musical.
They came on at the start and explained the concept.
That's a prologue.
Yeah, you're right.
In Romeo and Juliet.
You're right.
A prologue.
You're right, and I'm dizzy. Yeah, that's what's going on, and the way that we're experiencing that is in the aesthetic and in the plot, which has been reworked, but also in the arrangements and the orchestrations of the music. Some of which sound a little more traditional, and occasionally we get bursts of New Orleans, Louisiana flavour.
Yeah.
It's not every moment necessarily.
It kind of flits in and flits out.
Yeah, it's balanced marriage between the two.
It's slightly lands a bit musical theatre, and suddenly it's very like Gilbert and Sullivan, and then suddenly it goes the opposite way.
Yeah. It makes it a good starter operetta to dip your toe into that world, if you like. Performances are great. Everyone loved the Modern Major General moment. Another song that I first heard on the Muppet Show.
The choreo in that section is like supercalifragilisticexpialidocious.
Flags. They should sell those flags. I'd buy a flag at the merch stand if they were selling flags. And I'm excited for Act 2. Now, on the subject of the set that I'm showing you here, I do normally have an issue with a curtain that is a flat and not a real curtain, as in it's painted on to look like a curtain. But this one is kind of okay because of the shtick of the concept of the show. Perfect jet lag show because light and steady, a narrative but not plot heavy, easy to follow.
David Hyde Pierce is hilarious.
David Hyde Pierce, brilliant. Everyone really well cast, and everyone in roles that played so much to their strengths. That was such a Ramin Karimloo part. That was such a Jinx Monsoon part. Thrilled to see Nick Barash on stage for the first time. Loved it. Had a great time. Loved that. Didn't expect us to end with such like a strong pro-immigration message, loved that as well. Absolutely, why not? And I don't know if you saw during the curtain call, but they were throwing Mardi Gras beads out into the audience. If you want to catch those, then I dare say you're going to want to sit further forwards in the orchestra. Ramin whacks them up into the mezzanine, but not in our general direction. And I didn't know that I would be hoping on the first night of our trip for Ramin Karimlu to throw things at me, but it happened. We are now heading out of the theatre. That was a 7 o'clock curtain, so it's only like 9:30. The night is young on a Friday in Manhattan.
True, but we have been up for many hours.
We're not going to acknowledge what hour our bodies actually think it is. Spoiler alert, it's like 3 in the morning, 4 in the morning, 2. But we are going to meet our friends. You can guess where. We are going to meet our friends at Holdfast, everybody. It's our new go-to spot. It has been for some time. It's a nice little bar up on 46th. Yeah. We're going to go meet our friends there. They've all been seeing shows this evening because we're all theatre people, and that's why we're friends. Heading back up, navigating the mean streets of Manhattan that currently aren't very mean for what it's worth. And I'm just having a moment being awestruck by these tall buildings. They're so tall! They're huge! And a little trash can advertising the museum at Broadway. You'll find Holdfast here on Restaurant Row. Contains many different eateries with different vibes, some of which you're hearing in the music we just passed by. We like Lady Blue across the street as well. There's also some staples of entertainment here, including Don't Tell Mama, an iconic cabaret spot that we've yet to visit, but I've heard much about. Is Joe Allen not also on this street? Yeah, this is the street where you'll find the iconic Joe Allen, another place that we've yet to visit. Listen, you can live in Manhattan your entire life and not have enough days to go to all of its restaurants, although admittedly we do tend to go to the same places over and over. Speaking of which, we're heading back to Holdfast. Aeron's got the steak tacos, we're hitting the socially acceptable cocktails, that's actually their name, and I have the fries with the white sauce. I was influenced by Jeremy, who is sitting over there. We're here with many of our friends. I'm not going to film them because everyone's just chilling, but we're having a lovely time. And just like that, it's the next day. Hello,
No, it's not
everybody.
Just like that. It's not a TV series, but that is a New York show.
It was a pseudo reference. We're here on the Upper West Side staying with friends. We walked back up here from Midtown last night. It's nice. It's a privilege, really, to be walking distance from the theatre district.
I like it. It gets our steps.
Yeah, we like to walk places if we can, even if it's a substantial walk. And it was kind of rainy, but not too bad. Which is similar to now. It's like, it's been raining. It is trying to rain.
It's like light.
Yeah.
I like rain.
I'm in triple denim going on, which, you know, double denim is a bold choice, considered by some to be a faux pas. Triple denim is such a strong statement. I think it's like a bullet train through cringe and out the other side. I love everything about this. I've got double ragtime going on because we're seeing a matinee at Lincoln Center, and the next show at Lincoln Center after Floyd Collins, which we're seeing today, is going to be the transfer of the revival of ragtime.
You could have, like, kind of promised that you're not wearing it because you're not trying to be like, finished already, I want.
No, I'm just, maybe I'll get Floyd Collins merch and I'll wear that at ragtime just to balance out the whole situation. We're going to go get bagels from our new Discovery bagel place from our last trip, Zucker's.
Yeah, which is a chain.
Yeah, Zucker's, which is a chain. And then we're going to get some sweet treats. It's the last day of May, so Magnolia Bakery's world famous banana pudding does a rotating special flavour each calendar month, and I like the May one, so I want to get that today, and then we'll find out what the June one is tomorrow. Maybe it'll be gay. Maybe it'll be a pride thing. Yay, Pride Month. And also Aaron's going to get some nice gluten-free black and white cookies, hopefully, from William Greenberg, which we have been...
We didn't realise there was a West Side.
There's an Upper West Side one. More on that later. Okay, the rain is getting slightly worse. Back into your little camera house for you. Here's our first stop Magnolia Bakery. I'm going to get me some, I can't even remember what the special is at the moment. It's something chocolatey, which is exciting. Secured the goods. Peanut butter chocolate banana pudding. I will have this after I've had my breakfast bagel. The plan being to have like big brunch, nothing for lunch, and then we'll eat between shows later. Because if we have lunch at lunchtime, we're never hungry until post-show. Heading next back up. It's called Columbus Avenue, but I have renamed it Indigenous Peoples Avenue in accordance with the day. Slightly facetiously of me. To go and get our bagels. Aaron's going to be getting something of a gluten-free persuasion, and I'll be getting a breakfast situation with turkey sausage. Yum, yum, yum. We have ordered. Aeron is waiting with our buzzer, and this is what a New York bagel place looks like. We've got a world of exciting options. We've got so many different bagels, so many different things you can have on those bagels. You can go in like a cream cheese smear direction, a schmear I should say. You can do breakfasty bagels, you can do sandwichy bagels, all sorts of options. Here, the song that they're playing in here is one that I used to put on like a loop for hours while I was studying at uni, and then it's one that I used to play for my students while they were working with rain noise over the top, so this is only slightly traumatizing. How was your lunch, Aeron James?
Very good.
We're now heading down a very short walk to Lincoln Center. First time we'll have seen a musical there. There's multiple different entertainment spaces at Lincoln Center, performance spaces, auditoria, is that the word I'm looking for? Yeah. There's concert hall, there's like a symphony hall, they have opera and dance, I presume. There is like a smaller off-Broadway space, and also one that is technically considered a Broadway house, which is the Vivian Beaumont. It was the most recently added Broadway theatre. I believe it was the latest to like join the ranks of Broadway theatre, and it's, you know, it's the right size. It's just a little bit beyond the Midtown Manhattan Theatre District, but they decided that it counts, and so Floyd Collins, currently playing there, is Tony eligible and is nominated for some Tony Awards. I started listening to some of the score for the very first time on the flight over here, and I'm excited to go and see the show now. I was told there's a great place to get bubble tea, and I want that. I can't remember what it was called. It's not McDonald's. We found it. We had gone past. We got gong cha. I got myself a passion fruit green tea with some mango popping pearls. Aaron got a brown sugar something or other.
Brown sugar milk tea.
Brown sugar milk tea. Beverages are the thing where we differ the most in the entire world in our taste levels, I think. But, oh, that's fun. Walking down to Lincoln Center with a boba walk me down. What a vibe. I'm trying to find the last few manga bubbles. Did I say manga? Mango. Mango boba. I can see them, I can't get them. Well, this is Lincoln Center. Here, that's the entrance to the Vivian Beaumont over there. Looking a lot busier, a lot more going on here than the last time we were over here. Lincoln Center's Summer for the City, taking place between June 11th and August 9th, according to this sign. Yeah, there's a stage being put up that we can just about see over there, where normally you would find a fountain, and these fun, colourful, wiggly lines that you can trace across the floor. Do they lead anywhere specific? Do they take you to the theatre, or do they just take you on a fun adventure of sorts? I'm intrigued either way. And this is the inside of the Vivian Beaumont Auditorium foyer area. We've got a little merchandise booth here on the left. Let's show you some of the stuff that we've got here. We have, just like last night, some Lincoln Center Theatre merch. We've got a notebook and a drinking receptacle there, as well as a mug celebrating the 40-year anniversary. Same on the t-shirt there. We have the Floyd Collins poster. Oh, no, before I carry on, there's also a nice bag. Nice size. We have the Floyd Collins poster artwork there on a window card. We've got a little Floyd Collins mug, but it's like a slightly different kind of a mug, more like a wide-brimmed kind of a mug with a design of a lantern on one side. We've got magnets and enamel pin badges there for the show and for Lincoln Center Theatre. We've got a little book there telling the true story of Floyd Collins, upon which the show is of course based. We have 2 different t-shirt designs, the Floyd Collins one there, and then a black version with the larger font going on there. Around the other side here we also have little torch key rings that I assume are also functional torches. Yeah, I think there's a button on the back, you can click them. There's also a little embroidered hoodie there, and the original cast recording is available for pre-order with free shipping here from the Vivian Beaumont. No points for guessing what Aeron James is getting. He is a collector of the enamel pins. He is adding to his collection before we even see the show. Secured the goods. You can find the box office area down here, and adjacent to that we have a stealthy little cast board that I almost missed walking past it, and the roles usually played by Kevin Morrow at this performance will be played by Justin Showell, and the performance is conducted by Ted Sperling. We also have a concession stand here, of course, where you can get various different snacks. We've got chocolate bars, we've got junior mints, we've got commemorative shortbread, 3 wafers per box to celebrate Lincoln Center Theatre's 40th anniversary. What a concept. We've got Twizzlers, cookies, all sorts in fact, and of course a fully stocked bar featuring featured cocktails. Now the featured cocktails here are the Collins, because absolutely why not, which is vodka, strawberry rhubarb, lemon and honey, actually sounds quite nice, and a muddy melon, Jack Daniel's whiskey, triple sec, lemon and watermelon puree. There's also a featured mocktail. We love to see it. Lucky, which is molasses, sweet tea, peach puree, lemon and basil. There you go, alongside a full bar menu, all appropriately themed for Floyd Collins. And here we are, inside the Vivian Beaumont Auditorium, a slightly different kind of a theatrical space to many of the more traditional Broadway auditoria. This is more of a thrust stage that you can see going on there, with the audience sort of beginning to circle around it. There is a circle, mezzanine level, whatever you want to call it, up there as well. There is a terrific rake in this sort of an amphitheatre style seating arrangement going on here. Of course we have our playbills, don't forget to get these from the ushers. They will also help you to find your seats, and they are very good at it. But yeah, ready for Floyd Collins. Currently looking like a very dark, a very bare playing space. That may change, it may not. I'm excited to find out either way. We've got a great view here in seats L, 303 and 304. Now I've just been admiring the names engraved on the seats in front of me here, and in the playbill we have information about how you too can name a seat. You can make your mark on the Lincoln Center Theatre by naming a seat. Starting at $2,500, this is an unforgettable opportunity to honour a loved one, commemorate an anniversary, or show your own love of theatre. With a fully tax-deductible contribution, you can purchase a personalised plaque in either the Vivian Beaumont Theatre or the Mitzi E. Newhouse Theatre, that's the off-Broadway smaller space I was telling you about, and support the thrilling productions on stage. There you go, and there's some information down at the bottom there if you would like to name a seat at the Vivian Beaumont, and why ever not? And just before the performance begins, and I am very excited about it, it has just occurred to me that we got Pride bills yesterday, and today we are back to traditional yellow playbills. Floyd Collins said, not quite yet, gays. It is Pride Month tomorrow. So we're in the intermission right now. We weren't going to get anything, but then Aeron and I both decided the mocktail sounded interesting, and now we're in rival queues, seeing who will get to the bar first. I thought I was winning, but it's not looking good. Oh, is this a burst forwards? Who's gonna win? Who's gonna win? Do you know who's winning? The queue on the left that I got out of to get in this middle queue. Oh no, this is good. I've got this. So this is the Lucky mocktail, named for a song in the show, and it's got sweet tea in it. It's sweet tea based, and we've spoken a lot about iced tea here in the States and the difference between unsweetened iced tea that you get a lot of places and sweet tea, which is super sweet. But we thought this, combined with other things like this peach puree in it and basil and lemon and, was it molasses? Something else. There was something else.
There was something else.
We thought it would be mitigated sweet tea, and it might be. How is it, Aeron James?
It just tastes a lot like sparkling water right now.
Okay. Oh, peach puree. Did I say that already?
Yeah.
Meanwhile, changes have happened to the stage. Don't look now if you don't want spoilers for some changes to the set design, but we have some passageways and things. It has become a little less of a blank playing space, but it's still largely empty. We're not seeing like a hyper-complex cave system as much as we are implying one, but there's a lot of clever features off this set, I will say. Lots of tunnels and passageways and such. Well, heading away from Lincoln Center Theatre, and I will say, you only got my facial expression giving Kombucha Girl as the lights were going down for the top of the second act. The mocktail, I should say, like the musical itself perhaps, grew on me over time. But might still be a little bit of an acquired taste. But then it's always going to be like Floyd Collins inherently is a very interesting and unique sort of a piece. And Adam Gettle is also that sort of a writer. You're slowing me down to say something.
Yeah, because I want to point out where we are before we leave it.
Where are we?
So this area here, which is called Damrosch Park,
Trees.
is the area that was just announced to be being completely transformed into an outdoor concert hall performance space, the big one behind us. So they said that all of this is going to be transformed the back half into like a big outdoor theatre performance space. I don't know if they'll do shows, but definitely concert performances and stuff will be built.
It's all going on here at Lincoln Center. This is a lovely area because, you know, as much as I love Midtown Manhattan, the theatre district, just spacious and open is appreciated. And I like the actual Lincoln Center theatre style. I do think for how big that foyer is and how big the whole complex is, they could have more restrooms because that was a queue. And people weren't quite ready for the second act when it started. No. People were thrown into chaos.
I think that's happened multiple times when we've been there.
Yeah.
Everybody goes to the same space. Because the thing is, it's very heavy orchestra, very light mezzanine. So
my advice to you is always pre-show restroom, and not that that's within everyone's control, and there's a whole host of reasons why it may not be possible.
Pre-show and post-show is good.
Pre-show and post-show, if you can avoid needing it in the intermission, and not everyone can, but if you can, I think that will make your life easier and the lives of others, because then the line can just be for those that need it more urgently without going into explicit detail. But yeah, heading down to go and get some show between food. That's not right. Food between shows. We're seeing Real Women Have Curves this evening, which is a real big tonal shift. It's a day of two musicals, but what different musicals they are. You were about to extol the praises of Taylor Trench. Tony nominee.
Yeah, which made total sense.
Yeah. Doesn't sing in the show, even though lovely singer, great singer.
Acting performance.
Yeah.
Probably the most defined character performance in the whole show.
Do you know what it made me think of? And Ben Levi Ross is going to be terrific, presumably. Has he been announced that he's doing it again? I think it's just been announced in Ragtime, his younger brother.
Yes.
But it was giving younger brother in a cave.
Yeah. Yeah, very much so.
He wanted to say, and he wanted to dig. That's where we were. Before we finish talking about Floyd Collins, though, we've just been chatting about the show in that theatre, because it's a very wide open space trying to tell a very claustrophobic story, and we were talking about the many sort of interesting, intimate spaces in London where you could stage cool productions of Floyd Collins, and I think some have been done in the past. I never saw them, but I'm aware of some that happened. But we were saying, how cool would it be to do like a promenade production where you move between different spaces in the vaults, and like he's in one room and then you go to different rooms as an audience and everyone's moving around. That would be really exciting.
You know what? Drew McConey recently said about exploring promenade productions for autumn and winter because you couldn't do sitting there.
Oh, at Regent's Park Open Air Theatre?
You could do that promenade at Regent's Park. It should be outdoors and it's completely set outdoors.
Yes, if they build a cave. Heading down 9th Avenue, would you believe it's 5 o'clock on a Saturday at the end of May? That's because this is 9th Avenue and not 7th. It's the very last day of May. Hopefully we get Pride bills from here on out. I'll be very disappointed if we don't. But heading down into Midtown, hopefully to go meet some friends for food. I spoke too soon about the quiet streets. There are people everywhere, but we have found a slight improvement on that situation. Fun fact, the stage door for the Todd Hames Theatre where Pirates is currently playing is here one street higher up than its entrance on 43rd. So if you want to meet the cast, and why would you not, you've got to come up to 43rd. But you can exit that way after the show if you exit through the doors on the right-hand side of the auditorium rather than the left. I just said to Aeron, because we had two rickshaws in a row that aren't called that here, pedicabs. Two pedicabs in a row in different places playing New York, New York. And I was like, I haven't heard the Alicia Keys yet. And normally we do, and now we have. Thank you, Times Square. An inevitability. We're here at Pink Taco now to meet our friends for some, I don't know, pink tacos, I guess. So this is Pink Taco. We're here with Ashley and Jeremy and Kate. Yay! And I got a frozen margarita that's served in a pineapple. Woo! A pineapple for me.
You can't get that at Margaritaville.
This is what Kendra and Ev would have wanted. PSA, the nachos with chicken are plenty to share between two people. Live around the world. Oh, the advert went away. I was about to tell you about good night and good luck. Now I'm telling you about the Bahamas. That's not the same. Headed up next to the basement of Rockefeller for what? Bathrooms. But also Chip City. I love you schmackeries. I will always love you schmackeries. But I also love the NYC sort of stuffed, larger style of cookie. I'm not going to have it now. I'm going to put it in Aeron's backpack. Good thing to bring when you're seeing shows in New York. Have a backpack. I'm going to put it in the backpack, have it post-show, unless security. I don't think this will happen, but if they're like, you can't bring the cookie in, then they're going to see how fast I can eat this cookie. Spoiler alert, it's fast. Now meanwhile, iconic statue, iconic tall building, you may be like, where's the ice rink? In the summer, it's different. And last year they had sort of like a fun decking area with pool party vibes without the pool. And this time around, they've gone for classy restaurant bar vibes. Public seating, Pebble Bar at the rink. We were just saying that would be a great place to hang out on a summery evening. Aeron and I often have too much free time in between a two-show day, but today we do not have that problem. Ooh, that was a step. Today we do not have that problem because we've pretty effectively killed the time between the shows. We did, and it's like 35, 40 minutes until our evening show.
Yeah, not bad.
Yeah, we have the 8 o'clock performance of what?
Real women have curves.
Real women have curves. That's not how they sing it. That is from a different show. But I love to sing the titles of shows to songs from different shows.
It like ends low. It's like real women have curves.
Do you know what I was singing from?
No.
Real women have curves.
That's Hello Kitty must die.
It is. Points to you. I also do that with She's the Time Traveler's Wife. Oh yeah. Just let me be the Time Traveler's Wife. Legally Blonde. And also Two Strangers Carry a Cake, which is a reference to Days of Wine and Roses, of all things, because my brain is strange like that. But we are thrilled, delighted, a little bit surprised to be on our way to Real Women Have Curves, because we were concerned it was just starting previews when we were last in the city. So for me to be able to go and like review it and talk about it, that would have been too early. But you know, with so many shows open simultaneously, some will inevitably do very well, others will struggle, and it's been struggling to really find its audience. I've heard wonderful things about it from friends. Everyone's been saying great things, but we weren't sure it would last long enough for our next trip, and it has, unless it closes within the next 25 minutes, which I don't think is going to happen. So, touch wood, Real Women Have Curves at the James L. Jones shortly. We're approaching the James L. Jones Theatre, where Real Women Have Curves is playing, and I think we are going to hit the queue before we hit the front of the building for other people seeing the show this evening. And the queue a few minutes later has begun to move towards the theatre. Something to be aware of here on Broadway: most often the houses will not open to the public more than 30 minutes in advance of the scheduled start time of your performance, so at half hour. That is because letting people into the building means letting them into the auditorium, because most of these theatres don't have separate and distinct foyer spaces. Some of them do, but this one does not. There is a nice little lounge area off to the right, which is worth exploring here at the James Earl Jones Theatre. This will be our third time at the James Earl Jones. The first was to see Gutenberg, the second was to see The Heart of Rock and Roll. We're here for another new musical, Real Women Have Curves. It's over there. We're making slow progress. Also, you've been admiring it all day, but let's really appreciate the little embroidery on Aeron's Waboon Maybe Happy Ending hat. Look at that detail. Waboon! Here it is, the JEJ. I've actually seen James L. Jones on stage 2 times, driving Miss Daisy and Much Ado About Nothing at the Old Vic. Great guy. We have a cast board here, and we have some covers on for this performance. Very exciting. I won't read out all the names, but you can see all of the information there, as well as an additional person appearing in the ensemble, presumably as a result of all of those covers going on for other roles. Now this is the little area I was telling you about. This is to the right-hand side as you enter, to the right of the actual auditorium itself. There are restrooms downstairs and a coat room. There is a bar area here. There's a photo op point over there, and there's merchandise here, as well as the main man himself. It's James Earl Jones, for whom the theatre is named. This is the photo op over here. Look how cute this is. We've got a dress over here, we've got a sewing machine, and we've got a little stool, presumably for people to sit on, because we have more backup stools over there, so you can take a group photo with this stunning backdrop there as well, with the artwork, with the title treatment. Real women have curves. How fun. We love thought out and dedicated photo op at a theatre, particularly one that's well lit, which this one, it is actually. It is quite well lit, especially compared with some of the others. While I was showing you that, Aeron James has bought a pin which has the title on it. Yeah. And we have a lot of cute merchandise actually. Let's show you some of these. There's lots of things. We've got a nice hoodie there with an embroidered flower on it. We've got a little crop top that says flying away. We've got a yellow baseball cap there. We've got a Real Women Have Curves t-shirt. The title treatment's on the back, and it's the flower that's on the front there. Look at those socks. Oh, some nice floral socks. We've got a long sleeve blue top that's really gorgeous, actually, that you're seeing over there on the left. Got a window card, and we've got another sweatshirt there, a separate one. You can also see, as well as that yellow baseball cap, that one there, we have some purple ones there that say on the front, "Make it work," I believe. And we have some other little trinkets that I'll show you. Bear with me. We've got a lovely silk scarf over here. We've got a nice tote bag that my friends all have and are calling the bag of the summer. And that's a closer look at the cap there as well. And then on the right-hand side of the booth itself, which I will say itself just looking very stylish, we have some little key rings. We have, oh, that's a little necklace down the bottom there. We have a mug. We have the enamel pin badge that Aeron got. We've got a magnet as well. And we've got a book up the top there upon which the musical is based, I believe. Of course, there is also a film adaptation, but I believe it's based on the book or the play, it may even have been. My thing with the merch, it's a little like how I feel about some of the Suffs merch, is there's bits of it that I would wear just because I think it's really cute and stylish, and there's other bits where I think like the messaging is a little confusing if I'm wearing it. It's like when Suffs had like the Great American Bitch apparel, like I support it, but it's weird if I'm wearing it. And I think the same with things that say Real Women Have Curves, potentially. Now, these are the featured cocktails. Here we have an Adios Sangria, a Real Margaritas Have Curves, which I suppose that they do. And If I Were a Bay Breeze, and a Oi Mule Chacha. I like the names, and hopefully you can see the ingredients in there as well, because I got to get out this line because I'm not actually getting one. This is also something that's happening. How cool is this? No one expects this when they go see a Broadway show. I'm just vibing to this now. Also, I love the James Earl Jones for this. Yes, we have water fountains downstairs by the restrooms, but this is explicitly a bottle-filling tap. And this is one of the few theatres I've seen that actually has one. Very helpful, because I make a mess when I try and do it using these. And we have taken our seats. We are in E107 and 108. If you get a triple number, that usually means you're in the central section of the orchestra. Look at this gorgeous, oh, I hadn't even noticed, up around the proscenium as well. Let's zoom in on some of this detail. I just love the aesthetic of this show. It's so vibrant, it's so colourful, and I'm hoping that the show is the same. Look at all this, absolutely gorgeous as well. we have our playbills. As I keep telling you, remember to make sure you get your playbills from the ushers. They will help you find your correct seats and make your Broadway theatre experience as seamless as possible. Oh, I'm excited to finally be seeing this show. We have reached the part of the trip, it happens every time, you know it well, where Aeron James gets a giant Reese's peanut butter cup. And when we say giant, we really mean giant. They are things to admire. Aeron James, did you go for any different toppings on this occasion?
Not really.
What'd you
Most
get?
different ones are the same ones. Reese's Pieces, Reese's Cups, chopped marshmallows, rainbow sprinkles, peanut butter sauce, and marshmallow fluff.
Wow. Seeing our first glimpse of the centre of Times Square proper. Iconic spot. In about 13 minutes, they'll be celebrating the midnight moment at Times Square, and all of these screens will show a simultaneous piece of artwork or imagery.
That's what everybody's here for.
That's what all of those people are gathered in anticipation of. We will be hopefully already on our way back with our snacks and treats. I got a cookie earlier, and I told you about it. I'm excited to eat that cookie. What's my favourite part about your Reese's peanut butter cup purchases, Aeron James?
You like the bag?
I like the bag because it's the perfect size for like a stack of playbills, and we usually return with a stack of playbills. The mark of a trip to New York well spent. But it can be hard to transport them internationally in a suitcase, and that's one really good way of doing it is in those bags, so can recommend. And also it all ties together because in your playbills very often there is a Hershey store discount if you take the playbill or sometimes the ticket with you. Check through your playbills, there's a bunch of offers and things in there sometimes. This ice cream is trying to tempt me into its premises, but I have places to be. Oh my god, hey, ooh, green light. I'm currently running towards Central Park. There's the city over there. Here is the park. Woohoo, running into the park for a nice morning run. My first one off this trip. Something I only did for the first time the last time we were here a couple of months ago, and I love it. Over there, behind me, you can see the Delacorte Theatre, still under refurbishment and redevelopment, set to open this summer. Outdoor theatre, Central Park, free Shakespeare. It's good. Is this not just completely idyllic? I am slightly concerned that the vast majority of people have been running the opposite way to me. Is there an anti-clockwise memo here at Central Park I don't know about? Answers in the comments, please. Apologies for the shaky camera footage. You're on my phone at the moment rather than my vlogging camera because I'm travelling light. Just stopped by the to-go window from iconic Tavern on the Green, which makes this the first thing I've ever bought from Tavern on the Green. I got 2 Arnold Palmers, although I didn't actually ask for that. I explained it, which is half Sprite, half iced tea, because of the whole unsweetened iced tea thing, which I assume led to the creation of the Arnold Palmer. I wasn't planning on running essentially a full lap of Central Park, but I accidentally pretty much did. I missed the turning and ended up right down at the bottom, having run right up to the top. So, big run for Mickey Jo today. And now it is a few hours later. We have hightailed it downtown, just went to Fresh & Co to grab ourselves some lunch. We were going to get sandwich, and then the day just sort of got away from us. The biggest way in which that happened is we realised that we're seeing Goddess today at the Public Theatre, which I've had so many messages from people saying, I hope you go and see it, so that's exciting. But we realised it's a 1 PM matinee, not a 2. Make sure to check your variable start times. Sometimes it's a 1, sometimes it's a 2, sometimes it's a 3. Sometimes it's a 7, sometimes it's an 8.
Well, yeah, our friends are all at 3s.
Yeah, don't get caught out by the wrong start time, that's the worst thing. So, yep, heading over to the Public to see that in about 20 minutes. Got ourselves some lunch. They did have a green goddess wrap, which I wanted to get for the bit, but it had bacon and they couldn't do it without the bacon, which is fine. So I got a grilled chicken situation instead with 47 grams of protein. What a healthy day I'm having. This is actually going to be our very first visit to, well, no, this is going to be our first time seeing a show at the Public, because we visited on trip before last, or indeed the last one. We've stopped by the building recently for the first time, and now we're actually seeing something there. The Public Theatre, if you don't know, is the original downtown off-Broadway home of many iconic shows, including Hamilton, including a chorus line, and many others besides, more recently, Suffs, Hell's Kitchen, Goddess, currently playing there, starring Amber Iman, Tony Award nominee of Lampika fame. Very excited to see her again. How's your gluten-free turkey avocado sandwich?
Hard to eat.
It's hard to... That's because I didn't let us stop there because I said we should walk. Because I am a villain. Also, if you're wondering why Aeron and I are dressed in such different vibes, we're seeing this together, but then he's going to go and see a Taylor Mac show in Brooklyn, and I'm going to the Drama Desks. The Drama Desk Awards are this evening, not far from here, which is good planning. And I'm going to go and chat to people on the carpet and then hang out in the press room and hopefully chat to people there as well. This will be my first time going to or covering the Drama Desks. I've covered a couple of awards shows in my life, but it's still quite new to me, so we will do our very best and we will just be grateful to be there and happy to chat to whoever wants to chat to us. Just excited to be a part of the Broadway and off-Broadway theatre community. I'm going to eat this sandwich now, otherwise I'm not going to have finished it before I have to see this show. But first I will show you this exciting view as we approach the Public. Multiple spaces for performance here at the Public, including the equally iconic Joe's Pub. But this is it, finally ticking it off. And here we are in the Phyllis Newman Theatre, named, I assume for the same Phyllis Newman as the Phyllis Newman Women's Health Initiative that Broadway Cares supports, I think, unless I'm conflating or misremembering names. Pretty sure that's the same. Look at this set design. Floyd Collins may not have had a literal cave, but this seems to. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. I mean, presumably from the title, supernatural themes being invoked here. This is our Pride Bill. It's June 1st. It's gay today, everybody. What a time to be alive. Loving that here at the Public. Very excited. We are in G, 15 and 16. I will say, all the seats on this row seem to have great legroom, but mine especially. So something to think about if you're someone for whom that would be really beneficial, because obviously not all the seats in front have that necessarily. You do have to go down some steps to access this seat. But yeah, There you go, ready for Goddess. So this is a audio description performance. Yay for theatrical accessibility, we love to see it, and we love to hear it, I should say. And I was about to tell you that there's a dog at this performance, a assistance dog, service dog, I forgot the technical name. Dog with a job, a hard-working professional. And as I was about to tell you this, 3 more dogs entered the chat.
Yeah, that's cool.
And there are 4 brilliant service dogs at this. I don't know if they're staying for the performance. I think they are. Am I going to be able to pay attention to any of this show? Because I'm just going to be in love with these dogs. Just outside of the entrance to the Newman Theatre, you can see this plaque here acknowledging the first preview of a chorus line 50 years ago. This month, in fact 50 years ago, last month I should say, May 21st, was opening night. Wow! While we enjoy our little 15-minute intermission with the water that we found near the restrooms, which are over that way, by the way, this is the foyer area of the public theatre. We've got various different little spaces. You can see they're written on the archways. The Newman Theatre is through that archway over there. Joe's Pub just behind me here. There's a charging station for mobile devices. There is your concession stand for snacks and beverages here in the middle. Box office is behind. This is the public. Strikingly designed. Mixture of classic and contemporary. And, you know, just feeling very accessible, feeling very welcoming, feeling very culturally exciting. Everything that you want a space like this to be. And post-show from the public theatre, we have just discovered the Donut Pub. The Donut Pub, which I found earlier on Google Maps while I was looking for lunch places. And they had gluten-free donut options, but not just that.
They had doggy donuts.
Doggy donuts!
Chicken and turkey flavoured donut.
Donuts for dogs. Speaking of which, very well-behaved dogs today at the matinee of Goddess.
They were so good.
At
You wouldn't
public.
have known there were 4 dogs there.
Remarkable, remarkable. The best behaved. I wish all of my audiences were filled with dogs. Anyway, thoroughly enjoyed that show. Just talking about it now, like wholly original in terms of its musical style and its aesthetic and its influences. The story a little less so because it was kind of a more traditional, like, boy meets girl, parents don't approve, one of their parents is like an evil god. You know how it is.
They joked about Romeo and Juliet, and I was like, slightly is.
It's yeah. Oh, they've got a bit of a. Is that the Broadway market stretching all the way down there? There's market stalls today on Broadway, as in the street, that we discovered on the Upper West Side that would have been lovely to explore, but we have a very full day. We have taken to wandering through Greenwich Village, because I have about an hour and a half to kill before the Drama Desk's carpet begins, and Aeron has a lot of time before meeting people who are at 3 p.m. matinees. So we're just wandering around, because I don't know if we'll be downtown again on this trip necessarily, and I do prefer this area in the daytimes. I know it's very hip and happening, and the nightlife is exciting. We're just never in the right vibe. because we're always here to see theatre, and so it always catches us just a bit off guard. And also we just don't know the area as well as we do with Midtown, and that probably plays into it as well. I feel like Aeron is a character we're all playing in a free-roaming video game, the way we're just perched over his shoulder here. You're about to encounter an NPC. One of many theatres in the wider Greenwich Village downtown area is the Cherry Lane Theatre here, proclaimed over there as the birthplace of Off-Broadway. I don't know much about the history of this theatre. I do know it's recently been bought, Aeron? Yep, by A24. So very intriguing to see what kind of programming will follow. And in fact, you can see A24 invoked there in the imagery. Aeron James is very intrigued about this particular theatrical acquisition. Also in the area as well, other theatres like the Lucille Lortel, where O'Mary played Off-Broadway before transferring up to the Lyceum. The Greenwich House Theatre, I think is what it's called, where we score Scarlet Dreams, and a couple more alongside. And then over in the East Village you've got the Orpheum, New York Theatre Workshop, not too far, of course, the public where we were today. Lots of theatres downtown, as well as all of those up in Midtown on Broadway. Now, we've been to see it before, but I'd forgotten the exact location. I did just say to Aeron, however, I think we're near the Friends building, and if you wonder why you see a crowd of people in this particular area just below Christopher Street, it's because it's that one up there. One of those apartments I think was recently for sale or for rent. Got to be an experience living there and having a semi-constant parade of people outside the building photographing your residence. That is a pretty home. I love you taking a photo of the one across from the Friends building just to curb tradition. It's that one up there. It's that. That's the view. That bit up there. It doesn't look like it on the inside. It's just exterior shots, because they didn't film in New York. I think Aeron's gonna head up the High Line towards Midtown. I may join, purely because I still have a decent amount of time before the drama desks. And here's a little corner of the High Line we've not previously discovered. This is the Tiffany & Co. Foundation overlook, apparently. This is the southmost tip of the High Line, and it looks over into Chelsea, I believe. And you can see the Edge up there, a viewing platform that we did on our second ever trip to New York back in October 2023. We've not done it since. Should we return? Should we experience it once more? This was a choice that I made for myself, to do a lot of walking in these shoes today. Well, the sightseeing continues. We spotted it. We had time. We've been meaning to check it out for some years now. We are exploring Little Island, which is this thing. If you've been in New York, you've probably seen it. You can see it from the Hudson. It's this unique park structure here in the water. They do also host performance events and entertainments. We think it's this way. It's called the Amph, aka Amphitheatre. I'm seeing sound equipment. Having run basically past the Delacorte this morning, I'm really touring the open air performance spaces of Manhattan. Oh yeah, this is something. I think they're teching at the moment, but something's definitely going on. As you can see here, a little performance space. A fairly intimate auditorium with bench seating. Look at that. And that amazing view. Familiar of the Minack Theatre down in Cornwall in the southwest of the UK. Just a view of the Hudson, of the water behind. Now that really was just a very brief glimpse of Little Island that you can see there behind me, because it's now time for me to walk back over to the Skirball Centre. Skirball, where the Drama Desk Awards are being held. Walked past it earlier. They'd already prepped the step and repeat, which is outdoors. One raindrop tried to fall on my face about 7 minutes ago and succeeded, hence my noticing it. However, nonsense. I could hardly, on the first day of Pride Month, walk past the historic Stonewall Inn just over here without coming to say hello. And indeed, just across from it, the Stonewall National Monument here as well, where people are currently in great spirits hanging out and chatting and acknowledging the community and the history of it all and how far we've come and how important it is to remember Pride and to remember queer history. Now I will go to the drama desks, which is also a very gay thing to do on the first day of Pride Month, let's be honest. Okay, we're here, we've arrived. I'm standing behind you. You're on a camera stand, got a little microphone going on here as well. Currently, as you can see, there is nobody on the carpet. If you can see all the way down, you can see, beneath you is my name down there, and other outlets that I'm here alongside. Everyone's very nice, everyone's very friendly, and we're waiting for people to start arriving. We have actors, directors, writers, lighting designers, fight directors, puppetry designers, all sorts today here at the Drama Desk Awards. I just saw the show last night, and the reaction in the auditorium, it's so powerful, it's so beautifully uplifting. What was it like for you to get to experience that audience reaction for the first time to the score that you wrote?
Magical. Yeah. It was incredible, and it feels like that every night. It's very magical every time that we're seeing it. For me, being my first time ever doing musical theater and just theater in general, it's been a wonderful ride, and it's been so pleasant to enjoy with the audience, because it's what we felt when we were creating the show, every single one of the emotions and all the feels, and when we see the audience go through that journey, it's like we did something good. Yeah,
it's an interesting process, because you go through tech, doubting, oh my God, are these jokes going to land? Is this, because you don't have that audience there.
We've heard them for so long.
Right, and in the room, everyone's like, yeah. But then when you have that electric audience, and this is a show where I feel like the audience is very engaged and constantly responding. And so when we had that first invite address, I was like, yes, this works, because you really don't know until you have the audience. And this is the reason we do it.
Hi, Spitlet. Hi, British people. Oh my goodness. Hello.
Nice to see you.
Beautiful suit.
Thank you. Look at all of you. Look at all of you here on Broadway. What on earth has this Broadway experience been like? This show that came from New Diorama, Southwark Playhouse, Riverside Studios, The Fortune. You are now on Broadway. What's been the most mind-blowing, surprising part of the experience?
I think there's been a few recently. Doing Ham for Ham, standing on the steps of Hamilton.
So much fun.
With Lin-Manuel Miranda, with Sarah Snook, with Jonathan Groff,
Christopher Jackson.
A litany of famous people that the meeting one would be enough for a year, and we met them all in one day and then sang with them. It was crazy.
And then that night, Matt Stone of Trey Parker and Matt Stone saw Mincemeat and talked afterwards. It really, we have been dribbling out of our faces for the last week and a half.
We saw Stephen Schwartz sing For Good to Idina Menzel.
Also, we met Bette Midler.
Yeah.
We met Bette Midler.
Bette Midler's earrings are like nothing I've ever
This is in
seen.
the space of 4 days. All of this is in 4 days.
I know.
It's too much. I want to go home and have a tea.
Could you have ever conceived at the New Diorama that this is where the show, and world tour, global?
Sorry, imagine if we had.
Yeah.
Imagine we've been like, this is 80 seats, so we need to start thinking about the world tour.
Yeah.
No, we would have made the show a lot easier.
Yeah. If we'd known me doing it for 6 years, we absolutely would have been easier.
Yeah, but I think it wouldn't be the show that it is if we were building it for these stages, for these kind of tours, and that's what makes it special. Is that something that was created on such a small scale has made it all this way without really shifting its heart and its soul. It kind of retains that fringe spirit about it, and I think that's what we love.
What was it like coming back together all those years later and getting to share such a special show, such a beautiful and heartfelt piece of theatre with all of us?
We loved it so much. It really was like bringing back that joy of when you're a kid and creating shows with your best friends.
And honestly, the first rehearsals were in my living room in Carrie's attic.
Yes.
And it really was like 3 little girls putting on a show. We just knew how to do it better than we did back then.
And that has this.
We have better material now. We have this spirit of play and joy.
Yes.
And we knew if I made them laugh, I was like, oh, that stays. Because it takes, we don't just make each other laugh. We're each other's hardest audiences. So when things worked, we were like, oh, that stays. And then some things are exactly the same as they were the first rehearsal in the room. We were like, that's funny when you interrupt me, Laura. I like that.
Hi.
official fan of MickeyJoTheatre.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
I've made it.
It's lovely to meet you. I'm such a fan of all things Cats the Jellicle Ball, and I'm one of those people who was a fan of Cats, grew up with Cats, but it was the audience experience and how everyone felt more involved by it. How joyous and exciting was it putting all of this together?
It was definitely the hardest thing I've ever done. I won't speak for you. And somehow every day was a joy. And so it really proved that like the amount of rigor and the amount of joy could meet each other, and that really what people saw on stage was the mix of those two things.
It was a true labor of love. It was rooted in love in that room, and it was hard, and it was amazing.
That was a whirlwind of everybody from the last year, off-Broadway and off-Broadway theatre. Madness, they are now tearing the names off the floor. They have rung the bell. The Drama Desk Awards are beginning, and I think we're going inside to the press room. Stranger Things just won something. I don't know what it is. Hello, friends. How have you all been keeping? I'm here in the winner's room. Likely place for me to be. That was a joke. Of the Drama Desk Awards. We have actors, creatives, very cool just to be in this space. They're doing photos, then they do print media conversations. It's also cool just to be in these rooms and to see how the sausage gets made. And we have a little feed of it happening over here. I'll show you. We're watching the Drama Desks, only we're doing video interviews in here, and they're doing recorded interviews, so the volume can't be too loud. So it's sort of a little bit of guesswork, trying to figure out who's winning and what they're winning. Cats. Something for cats. I'm having a great time. It's very warm, but I've had some Chips Ahoy cookies, and Jinx Monsoon's just over there, and Jack Malone won! And I got to say well done to Jack Malone, and we got to catch up, which was lovely.
Here we go, right here for me. I'm getting out of the way. Perfect.
It's Aeron James. We are heading back. I didn't even ask where the party was. I'm not even dallying with that. There is one. I can't cope with it. Both because I'm maxed out on like being in proximity to very exciting people who I respect enormously, and my feet hurt. So there's that. Do you want to know who I spoke to?
Yeah, go on.
I spoke to just now. Last person I spoke to was Sarah Snook.
Wow.
And Jasmine Amy Rogers spoke to twice tonight on the carpet, and then again after she won, which was so sweet because she won with Audra, and it meant so much to her. But yeah, very special night at the Drama Desks. Thrilled to have the opportunity. Great to chat with other people because like we do stuff so often in London, I now get to know who all the people are, and then I don't as much in New York get to connect the faces to the emails who I'm in contact with, and so I feel at events like this it's hard to feel enmeshed in the community when you don't know people, and so chatted to a lot of people tonight.
Yay!
So yeah, but it's always covering awards shows. It's always a marathon and not a sprint, but had some great moments and some right at the end, so it was worth staying the whole time in the very, very warm room. My God. Good morning.
Hi.
Hello, it is Monday. It is a new day. I don't think I really verbalized the end of last night because I was exhausted.
You were shattered when I picked you up.
After the Drama Desk, my feet still hurt. The fronts of my feet. And I had a very slight, like a small men's heel on, like a white chunky, like not a big deal whatsoever. I could never be a drag performer. I would complain all the time. But I was just mentally exhausted as much as anything else, because doing those carpets, those press rooms is no joke, and I have the most respect for anyone who does them, because people are coming past on the carpet. It's a constant parade of people, and you want to ask them about their projects. And the Drama Desks, you know, I've not seen everything from the last year. We don't live here, But I think I'd struggle even in the UK because the collision of Broadway and off-Broadway on that carpet was real. Like, you're talking to, like, the composers of Real Women Have Curves, and then you're talking to, like, off-Broadway theatre makers, and, like, you're constantly trying to figure out, like, I know you, but still who am I looking at and what am I asking you about?
It's definitely more, I think it's more of a culture thing here that everybody's just, like, all together.
Yeah, but we also don't have that many categories, so then in the winner's room, there's a feed that you can kind of hear and you're trying to work out who's won and who's coming down and who's coming through. And like if they even want to talk to you, because they don't have to and that's their prerogative. It's just all a lot, but I had a great time. Thrilled to be invited, thrilled to get the experience. It did kind of reinforce to me that I would much rather just watch the Tonys on TV. One year I'll do like the carpet, the press room of the Tonys if I get the opportunity. I think that's something that I would like to do once, but I don't think I don't think it would ever be my favourite way to experience it. Anyway, it's a new day. We are sat here in Central Park with Tap. We got Tap, Brazilian Pau de Queijo paninis. This isn't necessarily yours. We'll find out. And Aeron got us pineapple and mango lemonade refreshers from Dunkin'. This is the view. He did not get coffee. No. Being strong. This is the view from my face right now. It's idyllic. This is the same path I ran up the other day, which was in fact yesterday. And, you know, as lovely as that was, and I really enjoy it, I'm also enjoying just sitting instead. That's nice. So these are Pau de Queijo paninis. Mine is mozzarella tomato with additional scrambled egg because I woke up craving tomato this morning. Really, I wanted pizza last night and I didn't get the chance to get pizza. And at some point soon, I would like pizza. But this is a Brazilian, inherently gluten-free cheese bread that I discovered at a breakfast buffet in Sao Paulo, Brazil, and I have since become obsessed with. Turns out I just took a bite of Aeron's panini. So if you're looking at that and thinking, I don't see scrambled egg in this, Mickey Joe.
I had it.
It's because that was, in fact, shredded chicken. Oops.
I would like this to be known that if you watch a video that Mickey filmed in Central Park where he's...
the Patti LuPone update.
The Patti LuPone update, and you watch it, please note, I am sat right next to him.
Aeron is sat to my left, which...
Casually chilling on my phone.
You're never normally in the room when I film. Like, normally I'm just there by myself.
With pigeons walking around, coming close, saying hello to me, and me really trying not to start giggling when a woman with her dog walked around and through the back of the shot.
I did wonder if it would feel weird to film a video in Central Park, but we found a quite nice, quiet spot. And now I'm thinking, with some of these big rock things, should I film a Floyd Collins review on one of these rocks? Anyway, heading now back to where we're staying, where I'll do as much editing as I can get done in the next hour before we walk down into Midtown, because we have back-to-back events today before a show, one of which is in conjunction with the show. We are going to see Call Me Izzy, which is in previews at the moment. It's opening very soon.
It's Studio 54.
It is. It's at Studio 54, starring Gene Smart of Hacks. And it's the first show of the 2025 to 2026 season, before the Tonys even happen.
Yeah.
So we're getting a head start. Yeah. And before that, we're going to a celebration party launch signing event for The Great Gatsby on vinyl. I don't know if it's going to be the current cast there, the original cast there. I saw Sarah Hyland and chatted to her last night. Jeremy Jordan was also at the drama desks.
Oh, I was with Ashley yesterday and she said everybody that she's going to talk to and talk about.
Ah, yeah, our friend Ashley is doing a talk back, so she will know, but we will all find out within the next few hours.
I think Sarah Chase is going to be there.
Fun! And one pit stop later, where the name of the game was pretty much just moving files around, we're heading back out to our two events. Up first, Great Gatsby, vinyl, album. Are we going to get a signed vinyl? I hadn't even thought about that. I don't have a record player, but this is not the first time I've been given a vinyl.
No.
So we should probably get a record player.
Or frame.
Or frame the vinyl. Oh, that's true. We could just frame it.
Framing is more fun, I think.
I'm going with quite a bold aesthetic with this today. It's sort of like, there's interesting shoulders on this shirt, and when I bought it, it was to just wear under a suit jacket, so you never got to see them. This was for the Olivier Awards, and I was like, at some point I'd like to just wear just this shirt by itself, no tie, just like little jewelry necklace moment, and we've gone with smart casual, combined it with a flared jean and a white sneaker, and kind of in a classic Mickey Jo move, I've tried to do a messy hair aesthetic, and then I got stressed because my hair looked too messy. Welcome to my brain. This is one of the rocks I was telling you about earlier today, a key part of the Central Park aesthetic. You find big parks like this in major cities around the world, but I never really see giant boulders quite as often. Definitely not something that we have in the likes of like Regent's Park. We aren't going to the Plaza Hotel, Great Gatsby, which mentions the Plaza Hotel, of course, the scene that takes place at the Plaza Hotel and a song that sings about it. They have done events here. We were not in town, sadly. We're going to...
There was an event at the Plaza on the same day we did a different event.
Yeah, we went to a Gatsby event somewhere else, and other people went to the Plaza.
The bookshop.
Oh yeah, it was like Strand Bookstore or the Plaza, but we saw Brendan's talk back. There you go. Oh, here's the entrance. Here you go. And the American Express. Different musical that mentions the Plaza Hotel and takes place there, of course. Two Strangers Carry a Cake Across New York. Currently playing its US premiere at the American Repertory Theatre in Cambridge, Massachusetts. But yes, we are heading down to a very nice restaurant. It doesn't have to be the Plaza Hotel. One of these days I'd like to step inside the Plaza. While I'm showing you the sights of the city, here on 5th Avenue and 57th Street, you have the giant luggage exterior of Louis Vuitton. Everyone thinks it's AI whenever people post this on socials. It isn't. It's really there, I promise you. We could go up and touch it, but we haven't the time, nor, frankly, the inclination. This is a part of Midtown that we don't as often venture to. You go a couple streets to the right, head a little east in Manhattan, off the Theatre District, and you get the main shopping thoroughfares, 5th Avenue, etc. And that's the front of the luggage. See? Not AI. I promise I'm not doing an AI on you right now. I wouldn't even begin to know how to. We are upstairs at Papillon. Ashley's getting ready to do a talk back. I'm now part of the event. I'm helping to disseminate old sports stickers. Woohoo! Happy to help out the terrific Catherine Quinn. Aeron, get your own table. This is my... No. What's that? The overlap. Okay, that's not... No. I'm very particular about this. People are arriving, we have stickers, we have merchandise, a talkback is about to happen, it's all very exciting. There are little stickers around everywhere and we're being incredibly professional with them.
Senior aficionado extraordinaire, we love Ashley. She's going to make a wonderful host and ask some fabulous questions. And now, with further ado, we are going to bring out some of the original Broadway company members of The Great Gatsby.
So I think like most people, cast recordings are like fundamental for theater kids. I feel like this is how so many people fall in love with shows, find shows. And so I want to know from all of you, like how many of you, this is your first time doing an original Broadway cast recording in studio? Like that's so cool. That's such a huge, big part of theater history. So congrats to all of you, especially to you guys. And I'd love to hear a little bit behind the scenes of like how a cast recording gets made. Like when are you recording it? When are you having time? When are you making the moment where you're like, okay, like the show is done?
We recorded the cast album May 7th. The process is you try to hope that the show is complete, and then you record the entire show in one day.
It's a lot of recording. You stop, you giggle, you wait to get the okay from Jason, and then we move forward. So the energy is up in a different way than it would be if you're on stage, but it's in its own very specific way.
There's also tap on the cast recording.
This is definitely not my first cast recording, but it was my first time tapping on an album. I was fully terrified. It's very exposed, and there's a microphone on the floor. We bring in tap boards, and we separated. There's 4 of us tappers, and the 2 male presenting went first, and I kind of watched, and they're incredible, and I was like, oh no, I have to go next. And then Mariah and I went after that, and you're in there in your clothes and your tap shoes and the microphone on the floor, and we gave it 2 or 3 goes, and that was really exciting.
Jason and I, I was kind of a part of well, let's make this riff and let's do this thing. And so then when we had the new version, we kind of did the same thing. And I remember when we first started at Paper Mill, while it was still coming together, is he was like, well, I want this to be the song that once it's yours, other people try to sing it, but they can't. That's what I want it to be. And I said, got it. And so it was cool to make that, but it's cool now that there's going to be other productions and people get to kind of do what they want with the songs, and it's cool to hear other voices. I think it's great.
I really like the Met, just because when I first read the book, that was the chapter that really stuck with me, and I was terrified of how we were going to adapt that, and the way that we are able to tell the story, also do a bit of a nod to Nick as narrator, which we don't do a lot of inside of our adaptation, and also keep it fun, and it still feels like a satisfying song. So I'm proud of that one.
That's my favorite too. The Met is my favorite song in the whole show. I love the choreography. I mean, the lyrics are so clever.
I love New Money so much because in tech, it was one of the only numbers I could watch from the audience, and everyone just slays and has such a good time, and it's so beautiful, and everyone's so fierce. And I just love hearing Sam sing that song. I miss that. My favorite line in the show is, "As long as the lobster and cocktails keep coming." And one of my other favorite songs is, I think it's going to be a bonus feature on the vinyl, which is Bootstraps. R.I.P. R.I.P.
Okay, next up in the life of Mickey Jo and Aeron, Take Manhattan, like the Muppets, went straight from the Gatsby event to a speakeasy in the back of, maybe it's called Stage Star Deli. We followed Ashley. And it was quite quiet because it had just opened and it was 4 p.m, but I had a Chardonnay and it was great. Now we're heading to the next event, which is for Call Me Izzy, the play that we're seeing this evening. And it's at Hurley's, I think. Again, I'm following Ashley because she's going to the same place. Yay for being a theatre influencer in New York, having theatre influencer friends in New York. Peep, the real women have curves, tote bags. It's the bag of the summer. Heading over to the next event, Call Me Izzy. I think it's about Moby Dick.
It's about alcoholism.
It's going to be about Moby Dick.
I don't know what it's about.
If it becomes about Moby Dick you're going to hear me scream during the show, and you'll know that it's me. We're just walking down this street. I can't remember the exact. Ashley, what's the number?
48th Street.
We're walking down 48th Street. Ashley lives here. We're walking down 48th Street.
No, we are 48th Street. Right.
Yeah. Hadestown's across the street, and for the first time, the full Hadestown marquee is not visible from Times Square because of this scaffolding, and yet the Longacre has been obscured by scaffolding for a year now, and it's kind of crazy that the box office is having a tangibly negative impact because of construction. And it kind of sucks for shows here at the Longacre, like Dead Outlaw and the handful of fairly short-lived shows that came before that, because of logistical stuff, like all of this. Aeron is becoming the key art. It's going to become Call Me Aeron. My model fiancé over here.
Thanks so much.
Look at you!
Here we go. He is giving smize. Smize it, kiart it, smize it, kiart it. Yes.
Ashley Hufford making the magic happen. You can call her Ashley.
Perfect. All right, last one right here.
Woo!
I can't smile. I have to smile.
And of course, Kate Ranking. Get that reflector in. This is what I need for all my videos. This is amazing. It is great lighting. This team here making the magic happen. This is cool. Yay! Went through to the next room, was not expecting we'd be outdoors. We're outside. We're in the open air. Sometimes we go to back-to-back events and it becomes about the food. I'll be honest, we have an exciting selection of things here at the Call Me Izzy event.
And I want to introduce you to our amazing playwright, Jamie Wax, and our amazing director, Sarna O'Brien. And they're just going to chit-chat about 5 or 10 minutes about the show.
This play has been
was born a long time ago in me and has been growing and has certainly grown in our collaboration. I feel like two things. I feel like this play waited for this moment, and I feel like this play waited for Jean Smart. And I think when you see it, whether you like my work or not, you will see that she is undeniable in this role.
And sadly, in my lifetime, misogyny and sexism has never gone out of fashion. So I'm not terribly surprised. I am deeply disappointed by the current of cruelty that seems to be infusing some of government policy right now, especially towards women and generally marginalized groups in this country who have made such great strides, and now we're trying to roll that back. And so I also thought this piece was interesting because Jamie is from Louisiana, and he centered the character who's a woman from rural Louisiana, and so he's taking a very specific person in a very specific body who's struggling, and nobody who struggles with violence or domestic violence struggles with it in isolation.
I think it's been surprising how it fit this woman like a glove, and it fitted 20 years ago like a glove. It's just through a slightly different lens.
I mean, thank God we have it, because I also think that's no climate in which to make art. You can't be dictated by that.
We are walking over to Studio 54, which, surprise, surprise, is on 54th Street. That's how that works. That's where that comes from.
That's where the Studio 54.
It is. It is. 54 above, as I like to call it. To go see Call Me Izzy.
Call me Ishmael.
I think it's about Moby Dick. This is my working theory. I think...
If it isn't about Moby Dick, I will laugh so hard that people will think it's offensive.
I'm going to scream like upsettingly loud during the show. We're not. Before you start commenting, very respectful. Very reserved.
It'll be like everyone's crying and we're going to be like, ah!
We will look at each other and go, that's what will happen. But yeah, going to go see Jean Smart. Have you seen Hacks?
I've never seen Hacks. I don't know anything about Jean Smart.
No, but people seem to like her a lot.
They love her. They love her.
Yeah.
Maybe this will make me watch Hacks. I've heard it's great.
I would have watched it, but the flight on the way here started from season 3.
And you're like, I'm not going to start in the middle of the 3rd season.
This is what I hate about like TV on flights.
Yeah. I've only heard good things about it.
Yeah, I'm excited. And I've never seen the first show of the season before. We normally start on like
shows.
A really bad streak.
Welcome to Home, directed by Kenny Leon.
Famously missed that one.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're starting strong here.
Have you seen Wicked? It's a really big musical in America.
I've heard of it. I've heard of it. And here we are at Studio 54. Guess who back in the house? Heels click clacking about. Call me Izzy, not Mother. Gay people got the reference. We're here at Studio 54 to see Jean Smart in Call Me Izzy. Studio 54, of course, once a famous nightclub, now a theatrical Broadway venue. One of my favorites, in fact. I will show you the stylish walkway entrance and the auditorium. And Aeron James! This is the aforementioned glamorous entranceway of Studio 54. We've been here previously for Days of Wine and Roses, for A Wonderful World, the Louis Armstrong musical. We have a little step and repeat photo op situation for Call Me Izzy over there. We have the box office, we have these chandeliers, we have mirrors, we have once again the handsome Aeron James over here getting the content, looking cute. We have an official Tony Award just days before the 2025 ceremony, and then just a little past that we have the merchandise booth here. We have little bookmarks here, I think. That's a little library card. I assume that makes sense once you've seen the play. We have a window card there as well for $20 with the, dare I say, iconic key art artwork. We have a little notebook that says hardships have hidden I'll try that again. Hardships have hidden gifts. We have a little pullover that says I'm with Smart, of course referencing the show star Jean Smart, pictured on the t-shirt over there in bleu. We have similar wording there on a baseball cap. We have a mug. We have a magnet. We have a little zip-up purse. We have a tote bag over this side as well. We have cute merchandise here for Call Me Izzy. One of the bar areas is at the back of the orchestra. You can see some featured cocktails here. The Disco Diva, the Mirror Ball, and the Velvet Rope. They reference Studio 54, the setting, rather than the show. I believe, like previous Tenant Days of Wine and Roses, the show may, among its themes, reference alcoholism, so I understand why they're not doing featured cocktails, but I will confirm that for you after the performance. But the Disco Diva is gin, cherry, pineapple, lime, and mint, which does sound nice. The Mirror Ball is vodka, yuzu puree, elderflower, agave, and lemon, which also sounds nice. And the Velvet Rope, tequila, blood orange, lime, and agave. With the featured mocktail, I love that one, that's a part of the options as well. Dancing Till Sunrise, tangerine, lemon, ginger beer, and pomegranate syrup. Lovely and delicious. We also have plenty of snacks and other beverages available here as well from this particular rear orchestra concession stand. And we have now taken our seats. First time sitting in the mezzanine at Studio 54.
I've never sat in the mezzanine here.
Neither has Ashley. Oh my gosh. We're here in row DD. I'm in seat 104. Aeron's in 103. The triple digit numbers do suggest that you're in a middle seating section, as we are. And this is our view of Ashley lied.
I sat in the mezzanine for Caroline Interchange.
You lied to the vlog.
I'm so sorry.
Currently a very blank view of the stage, but I'm fairly confident that something will appear on it at some point, and it will become slightly more dynamic than it currently looks. I have faith. We have our Pride bill. We had, yeah, there's a toilet. We found out earlier there's a toilet. We have our Pride bills for Call Me Izzy. I dare say if you're a lesbian in attendance at this show, Jean Smart's performance will mean a lot to you, regardless of the themes. Excited to be here. One of my favorite theatres on Broadway, Studio 54. Excited to see yet another show. And our post-show vibes bring us right across the street to the Grizzly Pear, where I am drinking a raspberry margarita. Aeron's got a vanilla cherry Coke.
Yeah, me.
A vanilla cherry Coke. Yay! Beverages, post-show vibes.
We love post-show Call Me Izzy drinks.
Woo!
It's vanilla cherry Coke.
I don't know what the air quotes mean.
It's not alcohol free.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Call Me Izzy inspired me to drink, you know?
I'm just, yeah. And now we walk back home. Long day.
Long day.
Lots of day today. Long few days.
Yeah.
And hard to believe it's only our, fourth day of this trip.
This is the one where I feel like it's felt like we've been here a lot longer than we have.
It has. I mean, we're very privileged to get to do these long trips. If you... Oh, Lincoln Centre's gay. I'll show you in a moment what I mean by that.
Empire State was as well today.
Lovely. Thrilled for queer buildings. If you, as I'm sure many people do, only have the opportunity to do 3, 4, 5-day trips to New York, let it be known you can fit in an awful lot.
I mean, I've known people that have done weekend trips from the UK to New York, and it does work.
Yeah, it's a thing that happens. This is what I meant when I said Lincoln Center is gay. Lovely, lovely. It is officially Pride Month. We got Pride bills again today for Call Me Izzy. And long may they continue throughout the rest of our trip. At this point, we have no idea what we're seeing tomorrow. We have nothing planned, we have nothing booked. I might get up and jump on a rush line in the morning, but I think that you will not find out about that until part 2 of this vlog, because I think this is the end.
Bam, bam, bam.
I think this is the end of part 1.
I did a Kate thing.
You did. We will see you in part 2. Thank you for joining us vicariously for the first part of our latest New York vlog. We will see you in part 2 ahead of further North American travels. Much to look forward to. The Tonys, trips to other American states. Who knows what is to come? You don't because you haven't seen it yet, and we don't because we haven't lived it yet.
We haven't lived it yet.
Yeah, but at this time, thank you so much. I hope that you have enjoyed. Stay tuned. Make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss part 2.
Yes.
You'll see it next weekend, I assume. And as always, I hope that everyone is staying safe and that you have a stagey day. Goodbye from New York. Oh, the signal is changing. There's still 10 seconds. Everything's fine. Bye-bye.
Bye.
For 10 more seconds, I'm MickeyJoTheatre. Oh my god, hey. Thanks for watching, have a stagey day. Subscribe!